Guys, this has been a long time coming, but welcome to the final celebration video for hitting 6,000 subs. I still can't say it enough, thanks to everyone for all the amazing support we've had in getting here. I'm constantly humbled and shocked that you all foolishly keep coming back to hear me babble about Final Fantasy XI and other games. I'm sure you're all dying to hear which choice won the poll for which celebration video, so let's get right to it. Drum roll, please. I actually don't have a drum roll sound effect. I really don't feel like looking one up. Sorry about that, guys. But wait. Was already revealed in the title anyway. It's the user submitted stories. I'll be running down the top story submissions from the old days of Final Fantasy XI in this video. But first, a quick note. The runners-up, favorite storylines and favorite H&Ms will still make an appearance sometime in the future. Favorite storylines will probably be to celebrate 7,000 subs because honestly, it almost won. And we're kind of close. It's almost here. So we'll probably be doing that sometime in the near future. H&Ms will be further down the line, but that was an inevitable video anyway because it's so fun. I love the H&Ms. They were kind of crazy. So get excited and keep on the lookout for those. But anyway, on with the stories. So first from Greg F. When I was a real noob, I'm not even sure if I had a sub job. Some guy was shouting in Bastock Markets for a party for Echo Warrior Quest. We all go to Guskin Mines, we gather together, and leaders start going over strategy for the fight. While this is going on, being the noob that I was and just being overly curious, I saw a question mark spot on the ground and clicked it. Both NM spawned, jellies I think, and they just demolished our party. I had a bad reputation for a few weeks to a month and no one would invite me to the Dunes or Griffin party. Dude, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I can't tell you how terrified I was to click anything from a similar experience of my own. I don't remember where it was or what happened, but I definitely clicked something not expecting anything to happen and was immediately assaulted by notorious monsters. It happens to the best of us, although I think it just killed me. I didn't affect the whole party. Good going, dude. From Sage Pyrotas, Scholar is my landmark story in all MMOs. From going from not just server outcast, but Final Fantasy XI world outcast due to skill chaining with magic and a staff. Hence not healing or nuking like a black mage and being yelled at as wasting charges, to becoming a senpai scholar and a remembered scholar. NMs would drop like flies. Years later, scholars are doing what I started. Few remember me. Lumino Helix, Stone, Distortion, Shatter Soul, Darkness, Magic Burst, Castra, Impact, Dead. Or the light MOT, Nuke Staff, Abby, Benishka 2, Wipe All Dolls, / Dark, Absorb TP Galore. Dude, that sounds insane. I remember when Scholar first came out, nobody really knew how to use it, and a lot of people were kind of forcing it into healer roles, and it's why I didn't really touch it. Then eventually some of the DOT stuff came to light, and people were mass using that, then that got nerfed a little bit, and Scholars had a crazy road, I'll say that. Kevin Forrest, my story. I was playing a white mage and got super excited for hitting level 40 because I got to wear the holy breastplate item. No stats, but it looked awesome. Yeah, dude, it totally did. I hit 40, equip it, and continue to play with my group in the quicksand caves. Our polar keeps pulling and oops, pulls 3 Antikins. I heal my Taro tail off, but alas, it was a wipe. Yeah, dude, not many ways you can get around that. As we wipe, I level down to 39 and lose a few pieces of armor. I asked the party to get it back and they agree. We continue and lo and behold, 2 hours later, I have leveled down to almost 38. It would be quite some time before I put on the mantle of white mage again, but it was that point I switched to red mage and fell in love with the class. Dude, that is terrible. I've had some D-level days, but I don't know if I've ever hit 40 and then D-leveled down to 38 from there. That sucks, man. Sorry to hear that. It was always the worst when you hit a level where you could wear gear and then D-level and lose it and have nothing else. Sorry, man. Next is Purple Syrup 14. My Final Fantasy XI story. When I first started playing 11, it was back in the early game, either before the first expansion was released or when it was still new. I remember I had a Mithra named Lutra, though I don't remember what server she was on. I remember the link shell I was in, and most of all, I remember Hot Dog. Hot Dog was another Mithra who had been playing for a bit longer and had advanced much further. Hot Dog was incredibly kind to me as a noob, helping me with advice and always happy to talk to me. I told him how I wanted to be Summoner, how they were my favorite class in all the Final Fantasy games, and now as soon as I was strong enough on my Red Mage, I was going to start farming leeches for the Garmogorumi. A little while down the line after that, I'm leveling in a party farming crawlers, and when I started getting frantic tells from Hot Dog, telling me to drop my party quick and to join his. He was killing leeches and a ruby had dropped. He wanted to try and give it to me. I told my leveling party that was up, and I dropped the group to accept the invitation. The ruby was still waiting to be rolled on. I forgot exactly how the rolling system worked, and I successfully won the ruby even on the other side of the world. I was the happiest noob in the world. Hot Dog had told me that in real life he was in the army and waited to be deployed, which is why he had so much time available to play. One day he stopped logging in. I assume he was deployed, but I still think about him and a little gesture and how much it meant to me. To be honest, part of me is sharing the story in hopes that it will reach him so I can thank him one more time. Dude, Hot Dog, I hope you're out there and I hope you're watching. Thank you for your service, and thank you for continuing the Summoner Express train for players in Final Fantasy XI. It was one of my favorite jobs too, and that Carbuncle Ruby can take forever to get. It's like a 0.01% drop rate across all leeches. It totally sucks. From Q Eagle Strike Erp. When I started the game a little over 2 years ago, I had a lot of troubles at first. I didn't know about the population, so I just picked a random server. After the first NPC told me what to do and which tutorial NPC to go to, I lost orientation and forgot the name of the NPC. I didn't know how to look it up in the chat box, so no chance there either. I ran around talking to some people until finding out that this server was completely empty of real players. I couldn't find the NPC guide to help me, so I was really confused about how I knew nothing. Second attempt, I read through some guides first. This time I kinda knew what to do, and after getting rid of the little question mark on top of my head, I felt like I had achieved a little something. I explored the game on my own, constantly wondering why my red mage deals so little damage compared to the trust. I tried out my first Sandoria missions and had to learn how this game actually worked. When asked for some proof of evil bats, I simply bought a Batwing, but it wasn't accepted. Turned out I had to get a rare X drop. When I was asked to help someone in Lothane, it took hours for me to find him as I overlooked him, hidden as he was, and accidentally got myself killed deep in Ordell's caves. I still did not give up. I was 100% sure I could do missions and quests without actually having to look them up. Well, this would later change on with the first Red Mage Artifact Armor quest, Orcish Dry Food and Devoy, randomly spawning invisible storage hole, possibly even in places with true sight high level mobs. Anyone remember? And all that after being only given the information to get some Orcish Dry Food from Devoy. But before that, I got to the dunes and further leveled up. As soon as I hit level 20 and felt ready for the sub-job quest, a female player called Dark picked me up. She was extremely nice and helped me with a lot of things, explaining everything to me, got me a sub-job, brought me to Juno, explained artifact armor, and so on. And after all that, she gave me 100k and was like, oh my god, dude, what are you doing? That's a shitload of money. And she's like, take it, man, it's less than you think. Winky face. Then I asked her why she helped me so much when she could have done better things meanwhile, and she said, this game is all about helping others. This particular sentence had an extremely strong impact on me. Since then, I've been helping everyone I met and who needed help. And if they would ask me why, I'd always say, an awesome person in this game once said to me, this game is all about helping others. And that's just what it's all about. Fun fact, by the way, a lot of time later, I noticed that Dark was online again. I told her and we wrote for a bit. She said she felt kind of lost because so many people she knew had quit the game and her former link shells were empty. Then I gave her a pearl and introduced her to an awesome link shell. This time I was helping her out, and it made me really happy to be able to show my thanks for the first time when I got help from her. She also gave me her email address so we could stay in contact even when one of us took a break from the game. And while I did forget about it a little so far, I feel like I should send a little email now after writing this story. Dude, awesome story, and it's great to hear that even in this day and age, that's still kind of the approach to Final Fantasy XI, because it truly is. It's supposed to be a community game about helping others. Most of the experiences of leveling up, sure, while making your own progress, the benefit was being able to take that job and then go help somebody else who needed assistance that you could provide and maybe nobody else could or nobody else was available. It was just, that was the best part about it. Great story, dude. Sly D's 420. Final Fantasy XI stories. So many good stories, where to begin? My start with Final Fantasy was over at my friend's house watching him play and wondering, what is this game? I watched him play for a couple days and knew this was the game for me. So I got the game and I played for hours when first getting it. Powered my red mage to level 10, then at such an early stage in the game, making a crazy attempt at to get my Hume red mage Bestoken self all the way to Winders to meet his Taru in person. This was my first realization with how vast and huge this world really was, and my first experience with getting help from another person. Now, on my way to Selbina, a new player, obviously got lost. I took the wrong North Gustibur map and made it all the way to Palborough Mines just to find out this is the wrong way. So very frustrated, I sat there pondering on where to go next. When a level 30 Dark Knight came out of Palborough Mines and wondering what I was doing there, I told him my story and he decided without hesitation to guide me to Selbina. It still was a difficult task, but much easier with him helping. We got to Selbina and I wondered how I could thank him, and he said it was no problem and good luck. First boat ride was obviously awesome. Got me to Mara, and again, getting lost and slowly trudging my way to Winders, and I then spent my next month or so in Winders leveling and having fun with my friend, before we ventured out to go to this so-called Dunes partying, which again, took forever, but once getting there and getting our first 6-person party, as they say, the rest was history. This game was cemented on my favorites list from now until forever. The bug was planted and I could not wait to play this game again every time I logged off. Red Mage Paladin War 75, do you need this? Bismarck. Hope to God Final Fantasy XI 2 is in the making because 14 does not cut it. Dude, That story is pretty much word for word exactly my initial experiences. I started in Windhurst, all my friends were from Bastock, but I was the one who traveled to them because they were closer to Valkyrie. I don't know how he convinced you that Windhurst was the place to be, but it was cool. I did love my Windy. Dudes, that's all we got. These were amazing. Thank you so much for submitting them. They were honestly pretty fun to go over, so maybe we'll start making this a regular thing. Every couple of months or every month or so, we'll do a fan-submitted like storylines thing, because this is pretty cool. Again, from the depths of my Taru heart, thank you for continued support with Hunt for Games and Final Fantasy XI. It's been amazing to be able to share my love for this game and see so much passion in return from you guys. Keep on the lookout for more videos coming soon, and that 7K celebration coming up too. Onwards to 10K and beyond, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, you should totally think about subscribing. I've got videos coming out twice a week, and if you like this one, there's at least a chance you'll like some of the others that are very similar to this, so live dangerously. Let me know what you guys thought about the video in the comments and other videos you'd like to see. And finally, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Huntin for Games to keep up with all the latest stuff. See ya.